There we go.
I started the theme music for you.
Welcome to LOA Today. I'm Walt Thiessen here with Alex King and Bill G. Today is Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2019. 4 p.m. in New York, 1 p.m. in Los Angeles, 9 p.m. in London, Sydney, Australia, around 8 a.m. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining us for another episode of LOA Today, your daily dose of happy, where I'm very happy that Alex got our music going today. Thank you for doing that, Alex. She just gave it a push, and there it went. It was great. So we're in a silly mood, which is the good way to start the show, is to be in a silly mood, because that way you're going to be in your most positive place, no matter what you're starting the day with, right? You know, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
That's really the most important thing. And Bill is sitting there spinning his pendulum, which tells me it's another pendulum day we're going to be doing here. I think he's not only clearing the pendulum, he's clearing half the earth all at the same time. So well done, Bill. Are we continuing with what we were trying to do last week, helping Alex out, or what were you planning to, what did you have in mind for continuing the conversation this week, or did you just have it on hand, just have it on hand?
That was my plan.
Okay.
Because we wanted to, because we had just scratched the surface of Alex's relationship issues.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
when we finished up last time, I thought we can continue that. And also, if there's anybody on the live stream who wants to get some quick answers or some just some general clearings, that's fine with me too.
Okay, sounds like a plan to me. So, Alex, are you ready for the healing to begin?
I'm ready for the healing to begin.
There you go.
All right, excellent.
So, Bill, I'm turning it over to you. You take it from here. Go ahead. I'll just kind of watch the live stream.
First of all, how are we all doing today?
Doing good.
We're doing great.
All right. I'm doing good, too.
Jeffrey's doing good, too. He says so.
Hi, Jeffrey.
I've got less than two weeks to tax season's over. It is crazy nuts in the tax office.
I can imagine. I'm glad I got mine done a lot earlier than I normally do this year. I mean, we got ours done in like mid-February, and I'm usually one of the ones who gets it done on April 14th or something like that. But getting it done early this year, I mean, I forgot that I had taxes now. I mean, it's been so long now, it just slipped my mind. I've got the refund. I mean, it's everything. It's great. I love it.
I don't have to do taxes, so I'm lucky.
But just when I thought I was safe, that April 15th was coming up and it was going to be the end of tax season, I got called for jury duty.
Oh no!
The day after Easter, I get called for jury duty.
And don't tell me it's tax court, right?
Then you're actually going to be dismissed because you are biased against taxes.
Yeah. Ways to get out of jury duty.
I think my image froze. I'm gonna try to fix that.
It's okay.
On my screen, it froze me in a laughing position, so that's pretty good. You know, if you're going to freeze the screen, you might as well do it that way, right? Okay, I think I'm coming back on now.
Getting there. There it is.
There we are. Okay, so take it away, Bill.
All right. Okay. Now, again, we're going to first we're going to clear ourselves and clear the atmosphere. Make sure that everything's okay.
I got to tell you,
we're getting information.
Jeffrey said I still need to do my. He says he still needs to do his taxes. Maybe Bill can clear them for me.
All right, I'll clear taxes.
He can do both.
Quick poll. How many people haven't done their taxes yet?
Right. It's funny. No one's raising their hands. I don't understand.
Yeah. That's okay. You can always do an extension.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I've never done that, actually.
All right, we're getting our information from the right place. How's our committee's doing. My committee's fine. How's Alex's committee? Oh no, committee's up to 7. Let's lower that down.
Nah, invite them all in. I'm just kidding.
Nah, it's a party.
The more the merrier.
No.
Alex is very popular.
In the kitchen.
She's just very popular.
Yeah.
She's got, you know,
on this side and the other side. That makes me feel good.
Well, something very interesting to note about your high self committee. I mean, there's some people who believe that the high self committees consists of souls that are like within a soul group. Mm-hmm. But I've actually seen evidence to indicate that the souls in your soul, in your high self committee, are actually aspects of yourself in the non-physical form.
Oh.
The way that works is, I mean, just imagine here that you've got, in the non-physical realm, there is no time, right? There's no time is something that's restricted to this plane. So you go to the non-physical, where there is no time, then you can have a gazillion duplicates of yourself from different time periods, all meeting together and having a party.
Nice.
Marvel Comics ought to do something like that. You know, it's a superhero gang, right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's DC Comics that does the
DC does
the multiverses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my apologies, DC. Yeah. You can see how closely aligned I am with comics. I mean, it's just, you know.
Yeah.
Well, they all have their own TV shows now, so Alex is well aware.
That's right.
Of course she is. I should have known. I should have asked you. I should have known. Yeah. Oh,
well. Okay.
Hashtag Alex is always right.
All right, so what would we be talking about this?
You're going to put that on the list, aren't you? I know you are.
I'm not that self-centered. No, I won't. One day I will. One day it'll come up and it'll be necessary, and I will. I'm going to make a t-shirt.
So now let's take a look at Alex's love life.
Should be interesting at this point.
I think the pendulum's stuck.
Let's see.
It's stuck on interesting. That's what it's stuck on.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right. So we got some inner archetypes.
Inner outer archetypes? Wow.
Inner archetypes.
But that inner implies that there's also outer. Yes. An inner archetype is something that exists on a core level, whereas your standard archetypes are something that is more of what you see. Ah.
Okay.
So the inner archetype of the creator came up.
Well, if you're going to have one, you might as well get that one. That's a good one.
That is a good one. Inner archetype of the creator. Anything else? Got to be more. Okay. We're going to 27. Learning is fun. But learning is fun is always an interesting one to come up because there's nothing fun on that chart.
Oh, no. It's a lie.
Deception in advertising. Oh my god. So here we are.
We are caught up in misbeliefs. We are caught up in misbeliefs came up.
Oh.
All right, next. All right, now we got 14. That's gonna pre-fall. This is illusions, creating the illusion, pre-fall consciousness.
Well, it goes with being a creator, sure.
Yeah. Me. And let's see. That one or that one? Okay. Misuse and energy in creating.
Oh, man.
I think
Misuse of energy in creating.
I think you have to have a talk with your higher self here. I mean, come on.
I know, right? I thought I was doing everything right down here. But,
All right. Is there anything else to look at? Yes, there is. Show me. All right. We're going 21. 21 is final items.
21 black.
I didn't know you spent time in casinos.
It's final items, this one universe. And that is, show me. This one's getting a little esoteric. This is the all category.
Aww.
For $100. So the all category. The all category refers to, actually I'm not sure what that refers to. The all category, because we got to look at it in context.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So we got inner archetypes of the creator. We have learning is fun. We are caught up in misbeliefs. We have misuse of energy in creating in the all category. Hold on one moment.
Can we trade these in for like a different reading? This doesn't sound so good, Alex.
I don't like it. This isn't as good as last week.
I think we need a different SRT practitioner. I think that's what that is. Yeah.
I don't know. He's bringing out the big books.
Oh no, this is serious.
Let's see.
He had to go to the library for a second. It just got real.
All right, let's see. The all category. All right, so the all category refers to items being cleared, all items being cleared without needing them to be researched individually. That's what he means by the all category.
Okay.
So we're just going to clear everything and not even talk about it.
Well, what it's saying is, when it comes up the all category, what it's saying is, there are multiple misbeliefs, is multiple misuse of energy, there's multiple creator programs going on here, and it's saying there's a lot going on here, we only need to clear it once.
Okay. I am a lot, so.
So my guess is what's going on here is that, again, you're a very highly creative person.
True.
Okay.
Very, very factual.
And part of what you are trying to create is a perfect relationship. So
does it have to be perfect or?
Well, it's perfect for you because
true.
Because you've got needs. You've got I would have to say that your needs are probably not in the normal range in the sense that I listened to your show, the show you and Walt did last Wednesday morning, and where you were talking about the anxiety that you deal with.
Yes.
And so when you're attracting someone in your life, you need someone who not only understands that, but will work with that.
Facts.
And so you meet somebody who likes to go rock climbing. That ain't gonna work.
I mean, it can work, but just know that I'm not coming with you.
Yeah, right.
And rock climbing is going to be that's going to be our separate time. Rock climbing is your thing, and
or basically, really any kind of outdoor sport is out of the question, at least at this point, because of the fact that the agoraphobia fix comes in. So So all of the normal activities that you would consider, dating activities,
right?
A lot of them are off the table.
Just going on dates, period.
Is yes.
It's a whole thing. Like it's got to be during the day when no one's around, and the food has to be there within 10 minutes, and it's a whole thing. So I'd rather just get takeout and come back home and eat in bed.
Right. So there we have, some some really very, very strict conditions here.
But I have found people that are willing.
Oh,
there you might just cut out.
That's when I flip the camera.
It's like your mic had low volume and then no
your
volume.
What about now?
It's low volume.
Now no volume.
Yeah, I don't think the people on the other side want this clear. They're doing everything they can to block this.
Yeah. Well, I think again, this is what's interesting is it's creating a situation where the only thing that is being attracted are things that are going to work with this situation, the situation as it's created. And there's so many blocks here. There's so many there's like, you'd consider it a barrier to entry. There's so many barriers to entry when you're looking at it from the perspective of the prospective boyfriend, life soulmate, whatever. There's so many barriers to entry here. There's, you're dealing with somebody who has a lot of, has a list of things that need to be things to be avoided and things that can't be done. And, and I would imagine that's probably something that has been a bit of a turnoff for guys who want to date you. Is that true?
I wouldn't know because a lot of guys haven't gotten. You can hear me, right?
Oh, you're plenty loud now.
Yes. Oh, okay, all right. They usually ghost me before we even get to the part about the fact that I'm an indoor person.
Okay, so for the benefit of us old fogies, what is ghosting?
I actually know what that is now, but
Walt can now tell you because of me.
Exactly. I've learned a lot from Alyx.
Okay.
Ghosting is when a guy or girl decides to they're talking to you and you're in conversation via text or what have you, and then they just stop responding and disappear completely.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So before you even get to the point of that you're an indoor person, it doesn't even get that far for a lot of them.
Yeah, most of the time. There was only one guy that I was actually talking to where he was like, "Oh, that's not really a problem." Then it turned into, "Oh, you have too many medical issues, so I gotta go."
Oh, okay.
Okay, boy, bye.
So what's interesting though is that this misbelief thing is interesting because it's saying is that the barriers to entry here are actually a misbelief. This is not actually true. That even though that we have multiple issues, multiple barriers to entry, that these are barriers that you've created yourself.
Ooh. Well, that's kind of true.
Okay. And so...
not on purpose, but definitely true.
It's never on purpose.
But so what we can do is we can try and we can work on clearing that.
Oh, we're clearing the agoraphobia now? That's what's up.
Would you like the agoraphobia to be cleared?
No, I want to keep it. Yes, I want it to be cleared.
Well, you gotta ask sometimes because again, it was in my blog this week. I was talking about what we give up when we decide to choose a new path.
Yeah.
And part of what we give up is our old selves.
Right.
Our old belief systems, and a lot of times our families, our loved ones, our jobs, our careers, whatever. We give all that up in order to go a new path, a more spiritual path. Now that's very easy. That's an easy choice to make, for people who are suffering a great deal. You know, if you hit rock bottom, you're sleeping in a gutter and whatever. Yeah, you've hit rock bottom there. You're ready to make a big change in your life.
Yeah.
Where it gets a lot harder is where people are not hit rock bottom.
Right, where they're comfortable.
Where they're in their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
They have food, shelter, hobbies, friends. They got all that, but they're feeling this very, very strong depression.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're feeling that they're not moving in the right direction in their lives or whatever. Then it becomes a lot harder to make that choice to move out of that and into something new, and into getting what you want, as opposed to satisfying what the people pleasing and doing all those other things for other people.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, it is a lot harder to do that.
Yeah, that happens when you care at all about what society says about your situation.
Right, exactly.
In which I don't.
Also,
but it took some time to get there.
Actually, it's not just society, but it's also caring what your loved ones think of your situation.
They're part of society, so yeah.
Yeah, they are part of society. True.
Yeah.
I've had multiple clients who came to me who are either recently divorced or in the process of getting divorced,
mm-hmm.
or thinking about getting divorced, because they've chosen a spiritual path. Because they found their lives before to be very dissatisfying, or they were depressed or whatever. They felt a need to move on, but their loved ones said, "No, I'm going to sit here and watch football. Or I'm going to stay here. This physical life, this is working out for me."
Yeah.
And so that person feels very, very alone at that point. And it can be devastating, because a lot of times these people who have chosen a more spiritual path, or a more a law of attraction life or whatever,
mm-hmm.
At first it can be extremely lonely, because you're moving on to something new.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I ask the question, are you ready to get rid of your agoraphobia? That's not an easy question to answer. The hell yes is, it's hurting and whatever. But there's a part of you that's served by it. There's a part of you that's very comfortable in that spot.
Oh, I am comfortable. I'm not going to lie.
Right. So to choose not to do that, you are choosing not to be agoraphobic, which means got to go outside. It means you got to feel okay being outside. Yeah. You got to feel okay going to the beach. You got to feel okay being in a crowd of people. And that can be terrifying.
Yes. Factual.
maybe I'm better off hiding in this little shell. But then you got to think. The other thing you got to think about is, all right. I'm too scared to change my life. I'm too scared, because this other thing, I've created a nice, comfortable hole in my bed. The mattress is nice. It's nicely conformed to my body now.
Yes.
And maybe I don't want to get out of bed right now.
Yeah.
Or ever. And maybe I can be safe here. But then Spirit informs you, and this is something we've already looked into, is that we know that the anxiety is going to eventually damage your health. In fact, we already know that it has. We also know that it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
Because we know that, people who stay inside and who are generally afraid have to deal with higher blood pressure issues. There's lack of exercise issues. I mean, there's all sunshine and the whole 9 yards that come along with it that you don't get. So you can rationalize it. You can say, hey, I'm rationalizing here. Yes, this is bad for me. I am on a one-way ticket to an early grave here if I continue on this path. but you know that bed, that is so... And I got my pillows, and I've got my TV, and I've got this all, I've got it, and I'm good. So again, there's a cognitive dissonance going on here. There's a decision to make. You got to decide that I am not afraid. I am brave. And because this is going to be probably the hardest thing you ever do in your life. And it is affecting your love life. It is affecting, because again, what we were saying, that you've created so many barriers to entry.
Yep.
For anybody to come into your life on a romantic level, because somebody especially who's on Tumblr or whatever, they're not just looking for a girlfriend, or they're not just looking for a good time. They're not just looking for a life partner or someone to marry. They're also looking for someone to have fun with.
Right.
And if they've taken the step to say, okay, I'm ready to start dating because, I'm ready to start dating, they want to go on a date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't want to just, come to your house and eat takeout. They want to actually enjoy your company. They want to take you to a movie. They want to wine and dine you. They want to make you feel right. But when the extent of the date is your apartment, they're like, okay, I got all dressed up to be in your apartment.
All dressed up and no place to go.
Oh, we're loving this. So,
hey, Alyx,
anyways,
Jeffrey's asking a question that's fundamental to what you go through with your agoraphobia. So maybe you can explain for him. He's asking, what is it about being outside that is fearful? Is it the people, the noise, the wildlife, not being in control of your surroundings? Is it everything all at once? What is it?
It's everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get it too, because my father-in-law suffered from agoraphobia, and even Nina, my wife, she suffers from a form of anxiety and a little bit of agoraphobia too. I mean, most of the time she's okay, but there are days when she's like, "No, I'm in my bedroom and I'm in my safe place, and this is where I'm staying."
Yep.
And so, I'd be like, "Hey, let's go in," because we have this wonderful little place here in town in Rutland called the Yellow Deli, and it's a wonderful little restaurant run by these religious people, and it's got the fun music and great food and whatever. We love going to this place, but sometimes hey, let's go Yellow Deli, but no, and some days it's like, nope, ain't going, nope, no, it ain't gonna happen. Go get me some takeout.
Yeah, exactly.
Bill, you make a compelling case for the comfort zone. That's not something we do a lot of here on the show. So this is a little bit of balance going on here.
Well, it is like I said, it's the comfort zone is comfortable, but choosing the path of asking the universe to give you what you want, as opposed to this shell that you've created for yourself, because you know that eventually that shell is going to suffocate you, and that's the something you gotta. That's your opposite of your argument for the comfort zone, because your comfort zone is going to kill you eventually, and you have to believe that too. That your comfort zone.
That's a really unpleasant thought. This is a damned if you
do, a damned
if you don't situation. It's like a no-win. Do I stay in the comfort zone? I lose. Do I go out of the comfort zone? I lose. Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
But the nice thing is that you get out of your comfort zone and you're able to clear out the fear that is associated with being outside of that box. Yeah. And now it's no longer fearful. Now it is empowering. Now you've gone. And the thing is, we all do it. I did it for years working a corporate job. That was my comfort zone. And even though it made me miserable, every day I went into work and I sit at my desk and I stare at that computer and look at my to-do list, and I'm like, and every day it was like, oh dear God, the same thing over and over and over again. Are you kidding me?
Groundhog Day.
Yes, Groundhog.
Yeah.
Oh, 12 months have gone by. Now I got to do this report. Now I got to month-end reports, all that stuff that comes along with it. And I don't fault for people who enjoy that, especially if you're thinking of a bigger picture, wider picture, and it gives you satisfaction. That's great. It just wasn't working for me, because my work is doing this stuff. Helping people, see. That the grass is greener someplace else.
Sounds like a good title for a show.
So anyway, we're clearing this. Clear that out. This misuse of your creative energy, because again, the misuse of creating Oh my gosh, I can't talk. The misuse of creative energy is also what happens when we create excuses. Mm-hmm. Think of it as creating excuses. Mm-hmm. I can't because, I can't because, I can't because. And when I can't because, and the end of that sentence is something fear-based, then you need to change the conversation to I can because I'm not fearful, or actually we can't express the negative, because I am brave. I can because I am free.
Mm-hmm. So what's different here where comparison to, say, Abraham teaching comes into it? Because Abraham would basically say, okay, you're focusing on the stuff that you don't like, change your focus to what you do like. So what's different about the SRT? What does the SRT give us that Abraham isn't giving us?
What SRT gives us is more insight into why. It's going into the soul record and seeing what is your individual hang-up. What is in your soul record that is preventing you from doing that Abraham realization.
For the purpose of letting go of it, okay. I presume, because you don't want to live there. So I presume that's why you're doing it.
And it helps you to knowing what it is, what you're holding on to. It makes it easier to let go of it.
Okay, right. Okay.
Because a lot of people go into the law of attraction, and they're like, well, I want this, not realize, like, I want a more meaningful relationship. Not realizing that they have a subconscious program about always having bad relationships. Mm-hmm. And since they're not consciously aware of it, they don't understand, well, I'm doing my meditation, I'm doing my manifestation, I'm doing my mirror exercises, I'm doing everything I need to do. Why is it still not happening? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what we do with SRT is we figure out, well, why is it not happening? Mm-hmm. And we clear it. And then you can say, I want better relationships now, and knowing, oh, wait a second, I got to make sure that I'm not repeating that old pattern anymore. I've let that go.
Yeah.
I can now re-express my fear into a term of empowerment.
So that raises a question in my mind, and it's one that I've had before, but somehow I never really voiced it. If the goal here is to express this stuff and to get it out there. Mm-hmm. Well, the other part of it is trying to remember the question. I just forgot what I was going to ask. So skip it. It just went right out the head. Oh, I know what it was. The way you clear it by spinning your pendulum around. Most people, if they're seeing a therapist or whatever, they get to the root of it and they talk it out. What is it? Why is it that spinning the pendulum around is sufficient?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not actually spinning the pendulum.
Well, okay, but but you do something along that line to clear it.
Yes. The difference between that and talking it out, again, we've got access to more of the subconscious and more of the soul motivation, the soul program. We have other protocols within SRT that go a little bit beyond that. One is called a inner child progression. an inner child progression is we find out all the hang-ups in your life from birth through your present life and all the way up through your lifetime. Various programs that come up in your life, and we clear those. Kind of like getting a sneak peek of how I got here, where I am now, where am I going, at least as far as what the soul, when the soul comes into this lifetime, they have a plan. And so, and the plan is not always in our best interest because the soul is just looking for experience. And the more advanced the soul is, the more difficult that path can be. Mm-hmm. So we discover which pieces of that path that we need to clear, and we can clear them so that way you have if not it doesn't prevent life from happening, but it gives you better tools to understand and be in a more neutral place, a more positive place when you hit those things. Another protocol we do is called the brain restructuring. And that one goes a lot more intense. And what we do with that one is we figure out what is the negative concrete base of your existence and what has been programmed into your actual physical brain cells. And then we replace those with a positive concrete base. We take those phrases and we turn them into positives. And then we instruct spirit to take those memory engrams, those synapses in your brain, and rewire them to a more positive expression. Now, I've done this with a number of different clients, and it has been it's usually very life-changing for them. Now, we usually get to the brain restructuring after we've done a few sessions. And the reason why we wait until after we've done a few sessions is we've done more research and we've dug deep into the different programs that you have. So that way we have a better foundation in which to understand the negative concrete bases as we research them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So then we change that over to a positive concrete base. And like I said, it's been a very, it's an intense, usually it takes about an hour to do, but it's an intense clearing protocol that we do.
Okay. And while you're working on that, I've got another question from Jeffrey for you, Alyx. Following up to what he said before, he said, what things make you uncomfortable? Are there other places in your life where you feel that comfort?
Wait, what did he say? What places make me uncomfortable or comfortable?
Comfortable, sorry. What things make you comfortable? And are there other places in your life where you feel that comfort?
With my mom, with my dogs, in my room.
Makes sense.
I can't think of any place. I will say my psychiatrist's office, but that's mainly because of him, not because of, the surroundings of it, because I have to leave the house to go there. So that's a whole thing. So, but, he makes it very comforting.
Good.
But so, certain types of people and personalities can make me comfortable, which makes it easier for me to do certain things.
Okay. That's a good answer.
All right. So something I'm just starting research right now is I want to get down to the core of the agoraphobia. So first thing I came up with was a dysfunction of creative energy. Again, this creative energy keeps coming up for you.
It does a lot.
It does come up a lot. So I'm sensing a theme here. Okay. 5, final assurance. 25. Me. Okay, we got miscellaneous past lives in other dimensions.
While he's doing this, Jeff's got another question for you, Alyx. He's asking, can you talk more about the comfort and what causes it?
things.
Soft.
Soft things. With the autism spectrum disorder, I have sensitivities to textile.
Oh.
So soft things automatically make me feel comfortable and warm and satisfied. Whereas, let's say a pair of jeans that haven't been washed yet, like fresh off or they're, unsoft jeans, like very coarse jeans. Touching them could like set off my brain and like make me feel very, I can't describe how it makes me feel, but it just, it can set off a whole synapses of issues.
Well, I mean, I can understand that, and I don't have the issue you're dealing with, but so I don't go out and loot my local 7-Eleven or something because I experienced a rough feeling fabric. But I love soft feeling fabrics, and all of my clothing is soft feeling. I don't own a pair of blue jeans for the very reason you talked about. I won't even buy it to go through the break-in period. I just won't do it.
I own 2 pairs of jeans. They have to come from Old Navy because Old Navy is the only place I know of that uses fabric softener before they sell them. Yeah. So they're automatically soft already, and then of course I put them through my wash and use fabric softener. So they're I can deal with them. They're flexible. They have that stretchy material. But anyway, everything in my room is soft. So my chair is soft, my bed is soft, my sheets, my comforter, everything is soft. It has to be.
I understand that.
I don't know what.
I understand it completely. I mean, because I'm very touch oriented. If I were to rank and I've done this before, if I rank my senses, hearing is my best sense, touch is my second best sense, and I'm very sensitive to touch. I mean, of all kinds. If I'm asleep and my wife has awakened and I'm snoring a bit, all she has to do is just stroke my hair, and I go, and then I go quiet. Because I'm that sensitive to touch.
That reminds me of the what was that book in Harry Potter that you had to stroke the spine of the book?
Oh, yeah. The Monster Book of Monsters. Yes.
Monsters Book of Monsters.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Oh, my God. That was so funny. Just pet him. He'll calm down.
She's actually gotten to the point where, if she's not really ready to go to sleep, she'll just start stroking me just to get all the sounds that come out of me for a while. And I'm not waking up. I'm doing this while I'm asleep.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
More information than you ever wanted to know about Walt Thiessen, I'm telling you.
Yeah, a little bit. That's okay. We like to overshare on this podcast. Oversharing is caring.
No laughing, Bill. You're supposed to be checking the charts.
Focus, Bill.
Oh, that's funny.
All right.
So what do we got?
Quite a bit.
Oh, boy. Here we go. I'm running out of room for hashtags, people. Flip the page.
Are we?
I'm so glad that web pages have no limit.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Okay. So, this agoraphobia is something you have definitely put this into this lifetime. Because you wanted to live a very solitary existence. Let me look at something. Are you a monk in a... All right. You were a very... How many... What's the percentage? Sorry, I'm getting a lot of things at once, so I don't mean if I'm can't complete a sentence here.
It's okay.
All right. We're looking at 70% of your past lives in other dimensions, and that's what keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You were living a very solitary existence. You were like a hermit.
Okay.
Wow.
70%. That's a lot. That's a lot. Because we're talking about each individual soul has had hundreds of lifetimes.
Right.
70% you were more or less a hermit.
Mm-hmm.
However,
this is normal for me.
However, in this particular one, in order for you to have this solitary existence, you created an imprint of brain damage. So it created
Shut up.
It created a belief that you have autism spectrum disorder, which brings on the anxiety disorder. And the message here is that it's an illusion. It doesn't really exist because we all have, when we go down to the microscopic level, the energy level and whatever, it's all just energy.
Mm-hmm.
And because we're all just energy, we can change the energy based on, again, what we want as opposed to what we don't want. So we can change that. And again, the embryo came up again. So again, it's this, you've got this creative egg inside of you that is, a part of you wants to be alone in order to, be the mad scientist in the lab all by themselves, creating this thing. No, nobody can touch it because I'm inside this thing.
It's alive! It's alive!
It's alive! But don't take me out to dinner.
I almost spit up my drink. Oh my God.
But there's a very, very strong part of you that believes that this is part of your life purpose. This is your life meaning. To be this solitary person hiding alone in the tower, doing your creation thing. So again, this is part of the this shell so that's that's basically the root of the agoraphobia here. It's this desire to create alone, being alone, and being, whatever. And I mean, even doing the podcast, it is a form of a solitary work because again, it's just the three of us, and we're separated by hundreds of miles. So we're just faces on a screen to you. And even we're safe talking in front of all of our listeners again because they're just text messages on a message board. A part of you can still fool yourself into believing that they're not real people.
It's true. I don't mind doing this, but because I don't feel like I'm peopling.
Right. If you had the 400 plus people that listen to the show all in your apartment right now, you would be completely freaked out.
My shiitake mushrooms.
Right. Or even if you had them all together in an auditorium, that would be tough too. I mean, it's easier with an auditorium. You can turn the lights down and you can pretend they're not there.
That's true, because when I was doing stand-up, you can't see the audience, so it's a lot easier. It
is a lot easier, but if you're working a room where you can't turn the lights down and you can see them actually looking at you, it's a lot harder.
But the stand-up came before the agoraphobia. I wasn't doing it during the shutdown, I call it.
Okay, so when did the agoraphobia start?
I was 26.
All right, so that late. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're only talking of the agoraphobia has only been a thing for what, 5-6 years?
10 years.
10 years. So So this it's been, and when it came on, did it come on all of a sudden or did it come on kind of gradually?
Gradually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was while you were doing stand up.
I was doing I was an outgoing person. I was at the clubs every weekend. I was doing stand up. I was also a hairdresser and, I was doing it all.
Okay. And was there any particular event that happened that a traumatic, any kind of trauma that happened during that made you feel unsafe?
I had my first panic attack while I was driving,
Okay.
and almost got into a car accident.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm not driving anymore.
All right. So so when you were having that panic attack, what was going on in your life in particular?
I felt overwhelmed by everything I was doing. And I also felt like I was being pressured. I mean, this is hindsight being 2020.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because I wasn't realizing this at the time. But I also noticed that I was feeling pressured to be a certain type of adult. Mm-hmm. And I mentally wasn't ready for that.
I see. So,
like, I wasn't mentally ready to live on my own and pay all these bills and, do everything society says you're supposed to be doing at a certain type of age.
Right.
That isn't my lifeline. That's not where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you live alone or you live with your mother, I think it is?
I live with my mom. Yeah.
You live with your mom. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there was a part of you that were you living alone at the time?
I had roommates, but my mother had moved to the Cape, and so she had left.
Okay. All right. So all right. So your mother left. So
yep.
It was just you and your roommates at the time.
Yep.
Okay. All right. This is good to know because again, you are, this goes along with that, need to be in a safe place in order to create.
Yeah. All
right. And so there's another part of you that says, this society crap, that's crap. It's not, this is not for me. I'm not ready to quote unquote grow up,
Yeah. I don't adult.
I don't adult.
You're right. Okay. I perfectly understand this because I got a client who's the same way.
Yeah.
So, all right. And so here you then said, okay. Oh, okay. Well, all right. The next question is the autism. Did you always have that?
Always. Yeah. Well, you're born with it. So yes, but I didn't know officially until I was 27.
Okay. About the same time.
Yeah. I had already, moved to the Cape with my mom, because I had already had my breakdown and all that stuff. So after that, my mom was like, okay, look, there's something wrong with my daughter. We need to figure out what it is. And I need to see this doctor, and this doctor. Right. And so my mom took charge of my whole healthcare and everything. And then that's how we figured out this is why she struggled in high school. This is why all this happened. This is why she's this way. And it all just clicked and made sense. And I was like, okay.
And now you can see here is there. This was the integration of a soul program. The soul programs wanted you to be in a certain place or a certain mindset. It wanted you to be in a safe place, and here you were trying to adult, which means that and one of the first things we learn when we become adults is we can't be kids anymore.
Yeah.
And we also learn, one of the first things we learned as adults is that it's not just all fun and games. We can't, there are consequences to hanging out with our friends. There's consequences to, being clubbing all night and getting drunk and whatever, because, I got to go to a job. And if I don't go to my job, I'm going to get fired. And if I get fired, then
I can't pay my bills.
I can't pay my bills, right?
Yeah. It's consequence after consequence after consequence.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, all those things that my teacher's been telling me all this time about being a responsible person is wow, geez. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I quit. Thank you. I've had enough. Good night.
Right. So now here you are at 27 years old and you're doing these things and you're you're trying the adult thing and whatever, it ain't working out. So now we're going to throw that imprint in there. We're going to say, okay, now I can't adult. I can't because I'm broken. All right. I have there's your imprint of brain damage. So there it is. I am broken. And not only am I broken, I'm broken in the brain. You can't fix me. You cannot fix me because I'm broken in the brain. And we
I was going to say, ironically, around this time is when we found the AVM, the arterial venous malformation in my brain.
I got one of those too.
Oh, nice! High
five! Yes. One day I'll die from a stroke.
Oh no, not me. They shrunk mine with radiation, so mine's gone.
Well, actually, it was an aneurysm, so whatever. It's okay.
Yeah.
The neurologist said I have a better chance of being hit by lightning, so.
Yeah, well, in my family, not so much.
Well, and then, again, that's another reason why I chose a life that was less stressful.
Yes.
Yes, because
agreed.
If I live a life that I am not living my best life, then my blood pressure goes up, and then whatever. And then again, it will. And I know for a fact, because I know I've got this thing in my brain.
Yep.
That it will kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm not living my best life, it will kill me. So
yep.
I don't have a choice. I have to live my best life.
Yes.
Well, you do have a choice. Okay. I mean, the choice is there. You've clearly opted on which way you're going to go, but you do have a choice.
Right. So now here's your choice, Alyx.
Yes.
Your choice now is, okay, I've created this thing in my brain. I've created this condition in my brain in order to protect myself from the responsibilities of adulting, because I believe that adulting is going to get in the way of my creative energies, in my ability to be a creator. Because because all of that responsibility is going to stress me out so badly that I will not be an effective creator. So therefore I'm going to put these things on me so that way I can remain safe in my cave, and that way I don't have to ever come out again. And this has been a repeating pattern. This has been something that's going on in 70% of your lifetimes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So this has been going on over and over and over again. So the choice now becomes, can you be the creator without the brain damage?
I don't know, man.
Can I be the best person I can be and be able to go outside and to be able to go on a date?
I mean, I used to be able to, so why not?
Before you were 27 years old, you didn't have any of this.
Right.
You had a life that did not have this in it. It was only when life became a bit unbearable, when life became scary, that you said, oh, wait a second, I've got this thing where I didn't do so well in school and I didn't do this. Hey, I bet you that there was something wrong with my brain all this time and I just didn't know it. And now I'm going to make it bigger and bigger. And this happens with cancer too. People, when people go through life and they are constantly believing that they're sick or they've got this genetic predisposition or whatever, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Their energy actually creates the tumor. Their belief actually creates the condition. And what's great about it is you can unbelieve that too. Just as easily as you believe that into existence, you can unbelieve it. And then you got a whole new life going on. Okay, so we're gonna clear that. And again, you can always put it back on if you want. always have that choice.
So it's like a pair of pants.
Right. So seriously, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time you are looking out the window or whatever, and you're thinking, I'm going to go to that mailbox and I'm going to go get that mail. And oh my God, that's scary. But wait, and then you think to yourself, wait a second, am I just telling myself that? Mm-hmm. Am I believing that in order to keep me safe inside when there's really nothing? Because I remember a time when I was able to go outside and go to that mailbox, and it was okay.
Yeah.
In fact, it was more than okay. I was able to go out clubbing. I was able to do all sorts of great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And can I order my life? I mean, if your mom's cool with you living with her, there's no reason for you to get your own place.
Facts.
You can still, I mean, if you got that kind of relationship with your mom and you guys are cool together and whatever, well, more power to you.
Yeah.
If you got a great relationship with her, hey, whatever. I'm not judging.
It's true. You got to want it. One way or another, you got to want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, are you living with your mom because she's safe? Or are you living with your mom because your mom's really cool?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
A little bit of column A, column B. There you go. So maybe there'll be a time when you won't need to do that anymore. Because again, your mom's older than you, obviously.
Obviously.
One day she's going to need you to take care of her.
Right.
And will you be able to be there for her when that happens?
Mm-hmm.
Walt and I are at an age where we have to deal with elderly parents. So, I know. Your dad passed.
Right.
Is your mom still around?
My mom's around. Actually, my sister is my mom's caregiver, so I'm
all right. There you
kind
go.
of fortunate in that one.
But even so, you still have, there are still caregiver issues. When you get to be our age, you have to deal with parent caregiver issues. And one day, and that's not too far off for you either. And so, the first day your mom, trips and, falls and breaks a hip or whatever, are you going to melt down, or are you going to be able to rise to the occasion and be there for her? And
again, do both?
Well,
probably not simultaneously.
I would have to say no to that one.
Well, you could have a meltdown followed by a recovery, and then you could do that.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So this is a good stopping point. We're actually a few minutes over, but that's okay. This has been good. This has been a good exploration. So Alyx will take a week to figure out whether or not she wants to get this thing cleared, whether she really wants it. She has to really want it. And so that'll give us time to do a little considerating ourselves. Considerating. There's a new word for the day. Considerating, yeah. I just wanted to do a little shout out to Luann, one of our live stream listeners. She said, Bill, I would love to have Bill visit with me. And we weren't able to get to doing a visit with people in the live stream audience, but I want to invite you, Luann. Feel free to reach out to Bill. Bill, how does somebody reach out to you just for a private consultation or communication or whatever?
Yeah, you can message me on Facebook. Something else you can do is you can send me an email. My email is Bill, Bill, at ninag.com, ninagee.com.
All right, there we go.
And then at that point we can set up a Skype meeting or whatever. I'd be more than happy to work with you.
All right, very good. Well, this has been educational, and I think Alyx has probably gotten the biggest education out of it, learning all this stuff about herself. So thank you, Alyx, for being willing to.
It was stuff I already knew, but
Well, okay.
It's nice to know that the spirits are with me.
This is true. Yeah. And apparently they're right on top of it. They know exactly what's going on. That's cool, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Thank you for being our test subject. And thank you, Bill, for sharing your stuff. Thank you to our live stream audience for being here. Thank you to our podcast audience as well. And we'll see you all next time here on LOA Today. Goodbye, everybody.